I just love that. Bro. I love that. Oh man, shout out to my man Oliver, Ron Oliver, man. That mixes he does are just freaking incredible. Whew. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for Eagle fans to lose their damn mind? Okay? It is hump day, and I hope you get over the hump. I hope you're humping or doing whatever it is that you do when it's hump day. Because I don't know about you, but I'm ready to face the challenges of the day. Already been up for several hours here, doing a pour on my kitchen countertop there, making shelves for the cabinet, wetting the walls down, because you got to have the walls nice and moist before you throw that plaster on it if you want it to stick. So we are getting busy as always. And I am amazed because I had seen a couple of power rankings, okay, a couple of power rankings that were out there and stuff. One, the people at Pro Football Talk, you know, Sims and Mike Farello, the same guy that said there might be a tape out there of Des Bryant that's 10 times worse than Ray Rice. Yeah, that guy. They had the Cowboys at 6 in the NFL, with the Jets at like 3. The Jets. I don't know how you put the, I mean, I get it. They beat Buffalo. Oh, and they still had Buffalo. They still had Buffalo ahead of the Cowboys too. So I was just like, I'm just going to ignore this stuff. So as I got here this morning to get ready to talk to you guys about the Dallas Cowboys and the week that is, and let you know we will be live streaming tomorrow night. We'll be here watching the Eagles versus Kirk Cousins in primetime. I don't know if that's actually a game, because Kirk Cousins is as bad as Daniel Jones when it comes to primetime games. That's the thing that's kind of funny to me. That everybody had all this faith in Daniel Jones, and that Daniel Jones is going to be that dude and everything. But, you know, it's kind of funny because he's 1-12 in primetime. He is Kirk freaking Cousins when it comes to primetime. Seriously. Be that as it may, we got Kirk Cousins going against the Eagles. The Eagles are a little bit banged up, and their feelings may be hurt a little bit here too, because this is the easier part of their schedule. They have Murderers Row that comes up later. Now after being, you know, considered one of the top dogs in the NFL, they dropped from number 2 to number 3. So let me read here what we got. Early in Sunday's win over the New England Patriots, it appears the Philadelphia Eagles were going full juggernaut. Philly raced out to a 16-0 lead in the blink of an eye, buoyed by Darius Slay's interception return for a score. But the funny thing then happened. The Eagles defense started letting the Patriots move the ball with Mac Jones, guys. The Philly offense bogged down and had to settle for field goals instead of touchdowns. What the heck just happened? Why did that? It just disappeared. It must be the Eagles are coming after it. Okay, hold up. Here we go. While addressing reporters, the Eagles still logged a road win over a quality opponent in less than ideal conditions, but they didn't pile up style points doing it. While addressing reporters after the victory, head coach Nick Sirianni allowed that while they were take the win as they can get it, things need to be fixed. Guess who moved in front of the Eagles? Dallas Cowboys were ranked 6th. They moved from 6th to number 2. Sunday night's NFC East showdown in New York was supposed to be one of the biggest contests of Week 1. It turned into the biggest butt-kicking and showcasing for Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys defense. To say the unit dominated New York didn't begin to cover it. Parsons' the pass rush made Daniel Jones' life a living nightmare, sacking him 7 times and hitting him on countless others. The Giants could do nothing offensively, tallying a total of 171 yards and converting just 5 of 16 third downs. In a stunning performance to everyone but Parsons. I saw this before anybody, Parsons told reporters. I said, I can't wait to get to New York. I knew it was coming. With execution meets preparation. There's no one who can beat it. Why is this disappearing on me? Literally, the page just went blank. Is it like the NFL people are saying, no, we don't want you to read the good news about the Cowboys? We already felt this. We've been to war before. We know the standard. It was enough nearly to vault Dallas into the #1 spot, according to Davenport's rankings. I won't lie, after watching the Cowboys make Jones and the Giants cry for 4 quarters, I nearly put them in the top spot. He said the performance was dominant, but I need to see just a little bit more from Dallas offense. Can rank them ahead of San Francisco? Wow. I will say, bro, it's just one game. It's just one game. But I like that. Because, see, you have to understand, this rankings don't mean anything, really. They really don't, okay? Because they change every week. Doesn't mean if you're #1 right now, you're winning the Super Bowl. Next week, we could play ass and lose to the Jets and drop to 10. That's the way it is. But this is kind of fun because of all of the Eagle trolls, all of those mother humpers I have been listening to all off season, where Philly 500, who has literally been sending me a video every single day. And if by some chance the Eagles were to lose tomorrow, wow. So we'll see. The Eagles are hurting on defense. They're hurting on defense. Kirk Cousins, you can say a lot of things about him, but they do score points. Now, we don't know, it is prime time. But maybe this is where Kirk Cousins stands up and says, enough is enough. I have had it with these mother humping Eagles. And I'm going to get up off the mat and I'm going to show them. Because I might say Eagles could be on upset alert. Wow. Cowboys rank higher than the frickin' Eagles. All right, so let's check in with Get Up. I do want to see Mike Greenberg because I know he's not doing too good right now. Let's check him out. All right, so it's bad in New York because now they're trying to figure out who can we bring in to replace Aaron Rodgers. And you'll be surprised one of the names that Squagoo comes up with. Eyebrows.
Every now and then, Mike T.
We love Mike T.
Which is my guy.
Our
Just
guy.
said something.
Under the
What are you talking about Tom Brady? What?
I tweeted that as a joke, but Mike was very
You
serious.
don't make the call. I mean, you don't. I mean, it is a tailor-made championship kind of roster.
I sat right in the seat last
Yeah, yeah.
and I told you, Tom Brady tired of getting hit.
Right.
Right. He ain't coming there with that offensive line.
Offensive line.
That's true.
And who they have to play.
Okay.
You think Tom Brady would want to walk in that building?
No, I don't. I don't think he would want to go play for the Jets no matter what the
Tom
circumstances.
Brady's done, man.
Okay.
Let Tom Brady be.
She went to school
be
today.
out.
Let him be.
All right.
How about Matt Stafford?
Interested.
How about someone? I guess what I'm asking you is, do they need to sign someone who is not going to just back up Zach
If
Wilson,
they got
but to take
Stafford,
the
those
job?
odds to go right back to 16 to 1,
Fair enough.
whatever they were. Listen, yes, they need someone. A name that came to my mind was Taylor Heineke.
Okay.
Right? And I
Eyebrows.
thought about Taylor Heineke when he was with the Washington football team.
Mhm.
That was their name at the time. I
Yes.
believe. And a really good defense. Okay, he was able to go beyond the X's and O's, and they pushed Tom Brady and that Tampa team to the brink in the playoffs.
He's
and
about
he
to
played
cry.
well. I'm not saying Taylor Heineke is to save the world. I think in this particular situation, with the way this team is constructed, with a dominant wide receiver like Garrett Wilson, which he had Terry McLaurin and found him a lot, he is familiar with what's going on here and team-wise what they look like. His athleticism is sneaky as well. to get him out of trouble behind a porous offensive line, which I think is going to get better as the season goes along.
Interesting.
Well, let me come to my reporters on this now, because look, if there was
There
a
is
really
no good
good
option.
out there,
They get it.
well, that's why they can't do it. I mean, there's no really good option out there. If there were, every really good quarterback in the world is currently starting a quarterback for some NFL team.
Yeah.
So we all understand we're not looking at great options. What
All
are
right,
the
here we
best
go. You know she's gonna
options
stir
out
some
there
shit
that
up.
the Jets want to do?
Well, Brady's not available. Stafford, I like it, except the amount of guaranteed money that he's due, that to me is the issue. Like the Rams trying to move him and the Jets giving up. I had a GM tell me yesterday, like you can't just go out chasing other guys. Like you have to, at some point as a GM.
Because you're paying Aaron Rodgers.
And develop young quarterbacks. If you believe in Zach Wilson enough to take him number 2 overall, then figure out how to make him the guy.
That's the only option they
he was
have.
a couple of years ago.
Oh, but come on. I mean, whoever that was that texted you that, tell them, did you watch the kid play? The Jets have tried to draft quarterbacks and develop them. They took Sam Darnold 3, they took Zach Wilson 2, and then they had to race out and beg Aaron Rodgers to come play for them because they have not been able to draft and develop. So whoever that was that texted you then, text that person back. Have you seen the kid play?
Oh, damn.
But this other GM is not Joe Douglas. This is the franchise that took Zach Wilson. And you can't keep him on the roster. And now that he's here, Rodgers is hurt. No. The messaging has to make sense.
Oh, Lord.
Zach Wilson.
Oh, it's turned into the cloud show.
Even if you don't believe
Hey,
it.
Mark, this is not geared towards you.
No. The messaging has to make sense. I was fine if they moved on from
This is
Zach.
not about
when
you.
he's
This
here.
is not about you. Don't think that my response is to that GM.
Me too.
Just saw the 49ers send Trey Lance away.
That's right.
And they gave up 3 first-round picks.
Yes, keep preaching.
Like,
Yeah.
there is no. Listen, I don't
True.
know what Zach Wilson is going to be. What I've seen Zach Wilson do is not going to win you a lot of football games. That's all we can go off of. If he's developed, they didn't go get Aaron Rodgers because they thought he was making some
Strides. Yeah.
Okay, it's the deal.
Yeah.
He's here. They should have moved on. If he's not going to be your future, they should have
But
moved
you
on.
don't
They
need
did.
to move on. You moved on when you went and got Aaron Rodgers.
The future came in 4 plays. Came on. It could have been the future.
Here's the thing, you guys have to understand. There is no easy fix.
Hercules.
The last thing that I heard was, well, they could call Washington about Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. It's a
but
better option.
But yes, but here's the thing. Taylor Heineke, I covered him in Washington. Like, there's a reason he's not their starter,
Yep.
right? He makes mistakes. You're worried about Zach Wilson making mistakes. Jacoby Brissett, wonderful locker room guy. But if you're thinking the Jets' Super Bowl odds will go up with Taylor Heineke and Jacoby Brissett, like, they're in a terrible situation.
Yep.
And so when I ask other GMs and execs, what do you expect them to say? No team is going to give up their great backups to the Jets. No team is going to give up their good
Not
starters.
unless you're giving up a whole lot.
They're in a terrible situation.
They're in a terrible situation because Tom Brady's older than Aaron Rodgers. Matt Stafford, the money that he needs, there are no good options.
And they have to come in and learn the system.
No, but here's my point.
The solution.
If they did not, they should have moved on from him. Like the 49ers said, we made a mistake. This is not going to work. Let's find a better situation for you. Let's get some draft capital and let's keep it moving.
But they did, and we are where we are now.
They didn't. That's all I'm saying. They
What you
didn't
have
do
to,
it.
what you have to understand is if they believe that he is not,
Mike Greenberg's he's just checked that. He's just checked that. Look at it.
They need to give up whatever they have.
He's like, it just doesn't matter. My season's over. Week 1.
Because right now you have a championship level roster. Maybe Jacoby Brissett does not maybe. He does not make you as good a contender as a top level Aaron Rodgers, but he makes you a legitimate contender. Considering how he played early last season, if you can continue that. If it's Taylor Heineke, you have to do something. They need to be okay with overpaying because they may never, ever, in the history of this franchise, have a roster as solid as they have right now.
I got all that. But again, when I say the messaging, if you were telling me that the Jets held on to Zach Wilson and wouldn't admit a mistake then now the Jets are going to turn around and give up stuff to get Taylor Heineke and Jacoby Brissett, those two, like none of that makes sense.
She makes a point.
To get them, it doesn't. But
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's a
But it
terrible
doesn't make
situation.
sense that you got Zach Wilson.
Okay.
You have to start now.
Talk about being between a rock and a hard place.
I've been there for a long time.
White t-shirt.
I know.
White. You're making me do this. I didn't want to do this. I said on the radio yesterday, every Jet fan needs to get behind Zach Wilson, and I believe that. If he throws picks, you got to cheer for him.
Oh,
The
my.
best chance they have is for him to turn it around. Well, let's face it. He wasn't bad last year. He was horrific. He would have been out of the league if they hadn't gotten Aaron Rodgers. They would have absolutely had to release him. They were hoping Rodgers could turn him into the future 2 or 3 years from now. The future came in 4 plays.
Yes.
He's not ready. They won the game around him and in
He's lost
spite
it.
of him on Monday night.
But what we're looking at is, what is Zach Wilson? What's out there for you to
15
better?
TDs, 18
You
interceptions
won
his
the
career.
Super Bowl talk with Aaron Rodgers, and now you're giving me just like what?
There is no
let's just throw
Super
something
Bowl
against the wall.
answer came out.
I know.
Why was the Super
If you're
Bowl?
not doing the Super Bowl, why are we giving up? Like it just like you're giving me.
The thing is, I haven't heard from Sal.
Sal hasn't said a word.
Bruce, before I go off the desk, but I got 2 words for you.
Go.
Nick Foles. Nick Foles is the answer.
No.
Is he on a roster right now?
He's
Foles
not.
is the answer. He's done it before. He's won a Super Bowl. There's a lot of attributes to Nick Foles that people like. He can come into that locker room. He can definitely lead a team. He runs an RPO game. He's a quick study. He gets the ball out of his hands quickly, which mitigates a.
What happened in Chicago?
What happened
Just
in
bad
Indy? He was
situation.
there in Indy.
offensive line.
That's it.
Nick Foles was in Indy. None of these options.
Bad offensive line with the Jets.
What I like about him is it doesn't cost you anything if he's just on the street.
Matt Ryan, Colt McCoy. These are all.
But I think that Nick Foles, the only thing that's interesting to me about Nick Foles is it does potentially, he has a story. I've done this before. I've come into a situation where
He's
a
got a
starting
point.
quarterback,
In week 11.
yeah, an MVP level quarterback went
In week
down,
11.
and I led a team to a championship.
And they changed the offense for him.
And if Robert Sala's going to stand up in front of the cameras and lie, which he has to, that's like half the
Because he's talking to his locker room.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Come on.
No.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. It's
This is the most entertained I've been
It's
watching.
lying, but it's okay. Sometimes your job is to lie. Politicians lie. Head coaches lie. It's part of your job. It's okay. He did it. It's fine. But what helps is you have to sell them a story. And I think it's hard to sell the story that Zach Wilson is going to be a better quarterback than he was last year.
You're
Easier to
throwing
sell the
Nick
story.
Foles at me.
No, I'm not saying it's a great
Nick Foles,
situation.
who was in Indy,
Yeah.
with all that chaos, and was never like, what are we?
We ain't
this
saying
guy's
it's good.
for?
Have you seen it? I've seen enough.
Let's put a ribbon on this.
In other words, this argument's not going to end.
I mean, right now they don't have a second quarterback on the roster. Tim Boyle is on the practice
Wow.
squad. What do they do? I mean, they have to sign.
That's
someone
yeah.
who has
It's gonna
played.
be a bit- Listen, Granny, you've been yelling at me all morning. You don't like my answers, but here's the reality.
What?
They're gonna sign somebody that you're not gonna like.
Who?
It's not gonna.
There's nobody you're going to
Nick
like.
Foles is that? No. Who is he?
You need to know.
No.
I'm over that now.
No, it's not unless they completely shift course and do something unexpected. It is going to be a serviceable backup.
Like who?
But pick a guy.
Well, are
Yeah,
you?
exactly.
What we
Just
were
pick a
doing.
guy.
But it's not gonna be. It's not
gonna be-
Colt
like.
McCoy,
Like,
Matt Ryan.
okay, does that excite
You know,
you?
Joe Flacco.
Well, I prefaced it by saying there is no good option. Aaron Rodgers isn't available.
It's not about a good option. It's about a better option than what you have right now.
So
And
here-
that's what people
here-
are trying to figure out.
Again, I was on board with Mike White last year, but in fairness to Zach Wilson,
Mhm.
his story hasn't been told yet. You're giving me a Nick Foles story. When was the Super Bowl? You're giving me a story about Nick Foles. Like that was 4 jobs ago for you.
Yeah.
Like so
Four
like,
jobs.
I'm
Damn.
that Nick Foles is gonna like roll into the state and say, okay, we're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm not.
Like,
I'm not on the Nick Foles train, but what I'm saying is,
but here's the thing. I covered the Browns a lot last year. Everybody loves Jacoby Brissett, but the Browns were waiting for Deshaun Watson. I was in Washington. I love Taylor Heineke, but the Commanders were going to Sam Howell. Like I get it.
Hey, Mark,
But
listen.
these options.
all right. So I grew up in the South Bay Room.
Okay,
I grew up in the hood. When you leave in the projects, you okay with a 2-bedroom in a nice little new
But
area
here's the thing, you went right.
where it has an extended.
Right.
We're not trying to go to a damn
Right.
mansion.
No.
We just want to move to the 2-bedroom.
You had a king-size penthouse apartment up in the sky, and now
Yes.
you down in the squalors.
We're trying to find the
And
middle.
now you literally are telling me, well, I got this studio apartment that has no furniture, nothing, and you want like it's like okay, that's amazing.
Move it on up. Move it on
That's
up.
what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, my
we're
God.
just trying to get back to a neighborhood where the police come as soon as you call. We're not trying to get back to the
This has actually been very entertaining.
Into it. That's Matt Stafford. But
Everything else, you're gonna feel poor. You're gonna feel poor. That's it.
You're just gonna feel poor.
Thank you for what?
That was good. That was actually good. But the reality is unfortunately, with the way the NFL is now, you don't have time to go ahead and say, oh, we're just going to go ahead and bring somebody in and they're going to work. This is one of the reasons why the Dallas Cowboys were actually better last year than people thought, because they didn't bring in a lot of players. They had guys that knew the system and stuff. They may not have been as great as other players, but see, you have to understand, it's a team sport. And if you have one guy who does not know what they're doing, then the play is going to fail. So the best thing for them may be Zach Wilson, who has not shown much. We know that, but at least he knows the system. You may want to go to a Joe Flacco, who has been in New York and stuff. That, you know, he's not a great quarterback any longer, but at least he kind of knows the system and the players around there. Familiarity is what you need. Getting somebody who hasn't done anything in forever is just like having Zach Wilson. Really, they just don't have any options. But we'll be talking to you guys later today. Hope you all have a good one. Peace.